Hey there, True Crime Podcast fans. It's Patrick and Jillian from True Crime Obsessed.
Each week on TCO, we recap a true crime documentary everyone's talking about, and we do it with heart, sass, and just the right amount of humor.
So if you like the kind of podcast where two good friends chat about a case in a thoughtful way that centers the victims, you really gotta check us out.
Yeah, we cover the well-known cases that you hear about in the news and the underreported cases that desperately need more attention.
For almost 9 years, we've been one of the most popular true crime podcasts out there.
We have over 30,000 five-star reviews on Apple Podcasts, and our brand new YouTube channel has over 50,000 subscribers watching our full-length video episodes too.
So find and subscribe True Crime Obsessed wherever you get your podcasts.
Something Was Wrong is intended for mature audiences and may be distressing for some listeners. For a full trigger warning for each episode and for a list of resources for survivors and their loved ones, please see the episode notes. Pseudonyms are given to all minors and some survivors in these stories for their privacy and protection. Testimony shared by guests of the show is their own and does not necessarily reflect the views of myself, Broken Cycle Media, or Wondery. This podcast and any linked materials should not be construed as medical advice, nor is the information a substitute for professional medical expertise or treatment. In response to the allegations against Jessica Pauley, she responded with no comment. Thank you so much for listening.
You think you know me, you don't know me well at all. You think you know me, you don't know me well at all. At all.
Here's Bree.
We had talked to the DA and he got a 5-minute rundown of what had been going on, which is, I guess, policy or how it goes for everybody. He had 5 minutes to digest everything Lauren and I could word vomit to him and try and come up with something. And I mean, I don't really blame him or anyone. Nobody could think like that in 5 minutes because it's something that nobody's ever thought about, really. We all just wanted something more. They had offered, I believe it's called a plea, basically where they compromise. And her lawyer had said that she'll get social media taken away and be monitored. And it was just laughable. Who's going to monitor this? I mean, she's been doing this for years. I was like, I'm not even going to waste my breath with that, honestly. So we had talked to the DA, and if we had dropped the charges like we did that day, we were able to try to charge for something more, which was the intent. After everything that's come up and everyone that's come forward and the extent of how abusive this was, I just want her held accountable, and I don't want anyone else to go through this again. It was Lauren's friend, me, and then Lauren's mom was there, and we were there all day.
Listening to other people go first?
Yep. And then the DA was like, I'm going to be pretty frank with you. I don't think this judge is going to go for these charges. We can either drop them and try for something else, or we can go ahead and try and get these. And then he brought up the plea about, I don't even know what it's called, getting banned from social media. I was like, how is that ever going to happen? She's never herself. And then we were all just pretty flustered at that point. We were all in line to talk to, I want to say it was like the DA's assistant, because she was just reviewing like what we were there for, what the charges were, seeing if both parties were there. We were in line and she's like, yeah, it looks like you guys are both present, as is Jessica Pauley. And I looked at Lauren and she turned around and looked back at me and she goes, she's right behind you. And I was like, what? And she was there with her mother and wouldn't look at me. Her mom wouldn't stop looking at me.
Here's Danny.
That morning, my phone just started blowing up and I look at it and it was Bree. She's like, oh my God, she's here. She just walked in. So she literally drove multiple states, but I think it was probably smart on her part to show up to court for cyberstalking charges. They start texting us, she's here, she showed up. And I was like, oh my God. And we just didn't expect it at all. Her lawyer was there. They were like, you should come, you should get here. It was like 45 minutes away from us. It was so far away. And it was already 9 o'clock, and the time was 9 o'clock for the actual hearing. And I was like, by the time I get dressed and get there, like, there's no way I could actually get there at a reasonable time. I'm like, I'm here to support you through the phone, girlfriend. I'm not going to be able to get ready in time to show up for this. And she was like, okay.
Here's Lauren.
We sat with the detective. I met with her twice, I think, and she did not act like we had anything, any type of evidence. She looked through the messages, and even still, she didn't think that there was anything to charge her with besides the stalking. The district attorney that we talked to, or the DA assistant, she took one look at our papers and she's like, what? I didn't know any of this was, like, she had no clue what we were talking about or what we went through. And she had took 2 seconds to look over the paper before she decided what to do with our case.
Here's Danny.
So they had their hearing and they said it was very brief. Basically, what the judge said, from what I remember, they could grant her with a misdemeanor charge and a year without social media, or they could dismiss this misdemeanor and try to go for a felony charge. Lauren and Bree texted us, what do you think we should do? I was like, I think a misdemeanor is stupid. I don't think that is doing anything. I think that's like a slap on the wrist. It's only a year in probation. Who's going to keep her from being off social media? That's such a joke. For all she's done, that's not enough. I think we have enough to get a felony on her. Like, I wouldn't take that. And they both agreed, and that's what they did. They dismissed the misdemeanor. I believe they talked to the DA after, and they said, okay, just bring us anything you have. So I think they set up a day to meet with her or him. The DA told them if they don't have threats from Jess, threatening to get nudes from them, like, give me nudes or I'll tell your family, or some sort of threat, that there's nothing they could do about it, or extortion. So cyberstalking is considered a misdemeanor in North Carolina.
Did they mention that about how it's a 5-year federal charge?
No. So, I mean, they felt like they washed their hands clean and walked away. When they got home, they texted us all that. We were pretty pissed. What are we going to do? We're starting at square one again. We have like nothing.
Here's Monica.
I couldn't even get a restraining order, which was very scary to me because she left the North Carolina area and we knew she was probably coming back to the Iowa area where her family is at, which would put me at the closest distance-wise to her. And not to say that I have ever felt like she would physically harm any of us in our friendship when we knew her. I never thought of her that way. But knowing now that she did all that she did, she's capable of a lot. And who knows what that could entail. So yeah, I mean, there's nothing I could do to protect myself in any way, shape, or form. Nothing I could do unless something else happened.
How involved were you in the police process? Because I know you're in a different state, so that makes things complicated.
I was not really involved with any of the police stuff. I did talk to a detective once, and that was someone in North Carolina. But other than that, I have not been able to talk to anyone legally or do anything like that. When the girls in North Carolina were having their court stuff happen to get restraining orders, we were trying to figure out where she was running off to because she up and left North Carolina, as she should have. Everyone there heard of what happened, and she obviously lost her 2 best friends there. So she up and ran away. We were trying to figure out where she was going, and I felt very unsafe because I figured she was coming this way because her family's here, and not knowing where she was obviously was just very unsettling. So we were trying to figure out where she was. Anyways, long story short, I still had her cousin on the Be Real app, and that sometimes has people's location on it. And she had gone to visit Jess at her new place one day and took her BeReal there, and her location was on, and I took a screenshot of it. Little did I know that you could see if someone takes a screenshot, but honestly, who cares? Okay, that's obviously the least of your concerns. So I took a screenshot of it and sent it to the group, and all of a sudden we knew exactly where she was, which was in Omaha again. So probably a week or two after that, Jess texted me and she was like, hey, and all I can do is laugh because I just think this is the funniest text ever. Hey, my attorney is wondering why you took a screenshot of my cousin's BeReal. Was it to see the location or whatever? And she just liked my message when I said, please don't contact me. Thumbs up, good old thumbs up. But of course, I was just kind of laughing because I'm like, yeah, I'm sure your attorney is advising you to reach out to your victims. Pretty sure that we have learned if what you did is illegal, I promise you me taking a screenshot is not illegal.
Yeah, monitoring where your stalker is not the same shit.
Right. So that is the only time she had reached out to me. Right after we found out she had deleted her Instagram. So I didn't have a chance to block her on Instagram. I had her blocked on Snapchat and everything else that she hadn't deleted yet. And then one morning I was watching some stories and her profile popped up and I was just like, oh my gosh. I was still following her when she like reopened her account. She was posting like nothing affected her. She was living her best life. She got this cute new apartment and a new couch and a new puppy. Mind you, this, in the time I've known her, this is her third dog that she has got. And the other two, you know, she got puppies for her son. Her son really wanted a dog and then they would get rid of it. So yeah, she was posting all this stuff like, well, my new job and my new puppy and my new couch and all her perfect little life, like nothing happened. Obviously, that was kind of traumatic for all of us too, being like the worst thing in our life just happened. And she's just going on like, oh, it's just another day. But then once she messaged me about her cousin's BeReal thing, she blocked me on her Instagram, which is fine because I don't need her on there anyways. But funny how she went on and got a new apartment and life was perfect for her. Like nothing happened when she had just ruined several people's lives, taken years off all of our lives. But then we as a group have been investigating and reaching out to people and going through old messages and like, oh my gosh, I remember this girl. I went with Jess one time to Wisconsin to visit her. Let's reach out to her. Oh, what do you know? Same story. We have learned that there were a few different identities for guys that she used before us. If there was anyone mentioned as one of Brody's exes, there's a 99.9% chance that girl was also one of her victims. So we reached out to several of them, got a lot of stories. Some of them have just closed that door. Like they were shocked when we told them what was going on and disgusted. I don't know, all of the feelings that come with finding out this sort of information. But some of them were like, I can't put any more time and energy towards this, shared our story and said, good luck. We're here, but we're just in the distance kind of thing. They go all the way back to 2007. She used a Mitchell Kent name at that point in time with different pictures, different story. She also was using the Mitchell Kent name in like 2016, 2017. One girl, one or two, I don't know the exact time frame on one of them, was Brody Lee Jacobs, which is the name that she used for us, starting in 2018, 2019-ish. Two of them, I think, overlapped with the beginning of me. Then Bree and I overlapped, and then Lauren and Bree overlapped. She has a kid and a job at a hospital, and she was with at least one of us almost all the time. You know, if she wasn't with Bree, she was with me. If she wasn't with me, she was with Bree. She was with one of us all the time. But I think kind of what the straw that broke the camel's back for all of us, talking to each other about our stories, we were like, we need to tell our story so this stops happening. Obviously, we don't have full control. What happens, happens. But at least trying to put a stop or put awareness or whatever we can do.
Here's Danny.
They were like, let's just take this to social media. I'm done. Let's just expose her. So I make a video and I don't post it yet. I send it to them. They tell me what to edit. I send it to them and we go through a couple edits and I post it. And I think the first one got some exposure, but not a lot. And then I found a trend I could hop on. It was the Roman Empire one, if anyone's a little TikToker here like me. But basically I said that like my Roman Empire is my best friend, has been a catfish for the past 15 years and it's been super traumatizing. That got a lot of attention. There was questions, obviously, so I kept making TikToks off of the questions. And this was probably over a couple of weeks spanned that I would send them what I was about to post and they would agree to it. They would send me trends too, like, I think you should do this. And I was like, if you guys want to post, I could share it on my stuff. I didn't know how comfortable they were with putting their face to the story yet. I didn't really care. I'm like, my face is already out there. It really doesn't matter to me. This situation didn't really happen to me. I was a third-party victim in this situation.
Put a finger down if you were catfished by a guy named Brody on a dating app, and when you went out to go meet him, he suspiciously could not meet up with you because he was sick or something was going on. So instead, he told you to go meet up with his friend Jess and you guys could hang out. So you went and met up with Jess and you guys became really good friends and eventually roommates. And for 3 years, Brody tortured you and manipulated you and emotionally abused you, all the while you were friends with Jess. And then come to find out, Jess is Brody.
The court date was October 20th. I probably started posting like a week later. The beginning of November, I was going to bed. It was like 11 o'clock at night. Lauren called me, and that was weird because, I mean, we would call each other, but like at normal hours, not often. I ignored it because I had work. So I texted her. I was like, what's up? And she says, go on the Are We Dating the Same Guy page, Wilmington. And I was like, okay. So I go on there, and there's this big post about a catfish. And I was like, oh, cool. And then the first comment is Lauren saying, can you please DM me? So I screenshot it and I sent it back to her. I'm like, is this about Jess? And then Lauren started messaging the group chat all the details about it. And basically the context of the post was 3 pictures of a man who we now know the real identity of. He's an actual guy in Iowa who Jess knew in real life. His fake name was Camden or Cam. The post was made anonymously on this group. And for context, for people listening who don't have a Facebook or don't know what these groups are, basically the groups are called Are We Dating the Same Guy? It's in almost every major city you're in or area you're in. There's a page for every single area. And basically it's for women to post the guy they're dating and to see if they're out there cheating on them. It's a good way for girls to watch each other's back. And sometimes people post like catfishes or bad dating stories like, hey, this guy's a red flag, or domestic violence situations. I joined just to kind of keep my feelers out there to see if Jess was still out there somewhere. And we were right. She was. It was 3 pictures of a guy. He was a medical resident, just like Brody. And the story was the same. There was the 3 pictures of the man and then a paragraph from an anonymous poster. They basically said, hey, we're a group of girls, or we're a group of friends who are concerned about our friend getting catfished. These are the pictures. If you guys have any info, let us know. And Lauren said, DM me, please. And then she got the phone number of Cam and cross-referenced Brody's phone number, and it was the same. They had the same phone number, and all the details were pretty much the same. And the girls were saying, we're concerned because our friend had just flown out to Omaha. And this was one of the places we figured Jess was going. And we were like, oh my God, how are you guys going to navigate this? And they like gave us all the details. The whole time they were messaging us, trying to navigate how to tell their friend this situation. Because the way they were wording it was that their friend was a very closed off person. She wouldn't normally do something like this. It's very like out of character. And she wouldn't just go and meet somebody on the internet that she didn't know. That's not something she would do. They didn't know how to bring this information to their friend. So I think a few days later, I messaged one of the girls and I said, hey, how's it going? Have you ever told Savannah, which is the girl who was being catfished, about the whole situation? And she was like, well, we're getting drunk and we're getting ready to go talk to her. And I was like, okay, let me know how that goes. She tells her about how Jess is actually Cam. And then she gets back to me and tells me that she deleted Jess's number and Camden's number. Apparently, Jess was reaching out to her, trying to plan a trip to Wilmington with her this week to come hang out. And I was like, oh my God, that's insane. They sent us a voice memo. I think it was days later with all the details, and it was just so insane. What happened is she met Camden when Lauren found out Brody was Jess. Jess had already created Camden. They had been talking for a couple months, and she had planned to fly out to Omaha to go see him. So she said when she got into town and into the airport, the plan was for Camden to come pick her up. But he said, hey, I'm so sorry. I have some errands to run or something. If I butcher some of the minor details, I apologize. But he essentially said, I can't make it to the airport, but my best friend Jess would be okay with picking you up. You guys would have a lot in common. You'd like her. The same old story. And she was super reluctant to say yes to this because it's really sketchy, having just a stranger pick you up. But she did. He said it'll only be for an hour. Just go back to her house. I'll come pick you up. So the girl, Savannah, said that she got back to Jess's house. She had a dog. She had her kid. She started looking around her apartment and realizing that the dog was the same dog that Camden had. And then the furniture was the furniture that Camden was taking pictures of weeks before, saying oh, should I buy this couch for my apartment? So she's getting this eerie feeling. And she asks her hey, is that Camden's dog? And she said, oh yeah, I'm just watching him for him. And then the furniture, she's like, what's up with the furniture? And she was like, oh, Camden said he didn't want it anymore, so he gave it to me. I'm like, what?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It sounds like a scary movie. She said she was texting him what's up? Are you going to come pick me up? What's happening? And he just kept making up excuses. And then finally, it's 2 a.m. And she said she's at this literal stranger's house. And he's like, listen, I'm so sorry. I have to check myself into a mental institution. Me and my mom had a really hard talk. She's like, what the heck? And at that point, it's 2 a.m. She's in a strange city. And to her knowledge, Jess is a normal person with a child in an apartment that looks normal. And Jess is being really friendly. Jess knows all this information about this girl over the past month that she doesn't know she knows about her. So she could be your best friend if she wants to. She could be like, oh, I love Step Brothers. And that could be the girl's favorite movie because she told Camden months before. She could connect with her in ways that she doesn't even know that she could connect with her. So she could build that level of trust. She's very good at that. So she chose to sleep there. And then over the next couple days, she said she stayed at Jess's house. And the entire time, Jess just kept trying to convince her to stay by saying things like, oh, we could go visit him at work, all this stuff. It was very bizarre. And then she flew home. And that's when the girls made the post. And that's when they told her. And then, yeah, Savannah had found out from her friends that Jess was Camden. Camden was Jess.
I cannot fucking believe that in this short amount of time, she was able to convince this new victim, Savannah, to fly there.
Oh, and October 21st, she made this giant post on Facebook saying how she found God and she's changing and she had lost weight and she's going to therapy and she moved back home because the beach will always be there, but home is where the heart is. Some lovey post. And I was just like, you are out of your mind, bitch. Literally, you were in court the day before. What are you talking about? So she posted this big I changed post. And there was probably a part of me and the girls that maybe you did change, maybe. And then a week later, Savannah pops up. You have a girl in Omaha. It was really telling too, hearing from Savannah's friends how she was a very reserved and not trusting person. I feel like that tells a lot to the people who are who would trust somebody like this. The victim blaming people that assume that you're this naive person to fall for this. But clearly it's normal 25 to 30-year-old women that want to find love and trust in it. Online dating is such a big part of our society now. And somebody was like, oh, well, you shouldn't be sending nudes anyway. I'm like, literally, the statistic is 80% of people have sent a nude in their life. 80%. You can't sit here and blame. That's just a part of our society now.
Also, what does that do? What do you think that's achieving? To shame somebody?
Who already feels that. You don't have to add to it.
What was it like emotionally when you guys discover in the group chat, aside from the shock, the realization that she's continued? Were you surprised in any capacity, or did you all feel like it's a matter of time?
I kind of knew it was probably happening, but I think it was just like the audacity. It brought it to light so much more that there was no limits to her. She did not care. She was going to put on this front, this fake story that she changed. She's this Jesus girl. She's in therapy. She will put a front on to no end. She will lie through her teeth till she cannot anymore. Just like with Bree, she was literally lying to her, texting her as Brody as I was on the phone with her. It's no limits. She has none. It's crazy.
She's had nearly 2 decades to reflect and has seen both directly and indirectly the impact of her behavior, and she doesn't fucking care.
Another thing with the Savannah situation, she said that while she was at Jess's house, the brief period she was there, she said Jess had a date, quote unquote, which I doubt it. Savannah was left with Jess's kid at her house for like a couple hours and like babysat him. A stranger. Literally, she left him with a stranger. Granted, she has cameras in her house and whatever, but what I really think probably happened is she drove around the block a few times and watched her on her cameras because she's crazy. That's probably what happened. There's no way she went on a date with this girl there. That's weird. I mean, the whole thing's weird, but like you are not going on a date, just be real.
Hey there, True Crime Podcast fans. It's Patrick and Jillian from True Crime Obsessed.
Each week on TCO, we recap a true crime documentary everyone's talking about, and we do it with heart, sass, and just the right amount of humor.
So if you like the kind of podcast where two good friends chat about a case in a thoughtful way that centers the victims, you really got to check us out.
Yeah, we cover the well-known cases that you hear about in the news and the underreported cases that desperately need more attention.
For almost 9 years, we've been one of the most popular true crime podcasts out there.
We have over 30,000 five-star reviews on Apple Podcasts, and our brand new YouTube channel has over 50,000 subscribers watching our full-length video episodes too.
So find and subscribe True Crime Obsessed wherever you get your podcasts.
When court finally ended and we knew we were probably going to get nowhere with that, we were just kind of like, fuck it. The only other way we could do it is social media. That's the only other way to hold her accountable. I feel like a lot of people, at least her family members, took that as a sense of bullying. But when I did make videos, I never gave her full name. I only ever said her first name, Jess. I never gave enough information to really track her down. I didn't even say we worked together. I didn't even say what job she did. I didn't say any of that. Nothing to identify her. There was maybe like 10 TikToks, but most of them were just like answering questions because people had so many questions when it came to the situation, and TikTok only lets you post 10 minutes. And this literally deserves a whole podcast, obviously. And there were so many details. The TikToks had waves. People would find them and then send them to their friends.
Here's Shayna.
I am going to pull up the text messages from my sister because I was literally shaking. My husband was upstairs in his man cave playing video games, and I was downstairs with our daughter. She sends me a link to Danny's TikTok. It was the put a finger catfish down one. And she was like, Shayna, you have to watch this. And I was like, okay. She's like, watch it and call me back. And I was like, okay. And so I was watching it downstairs. I paused it because I was just like, immediately this flood of deja vu maybe came over me. And I was shaking watching it. And I am running around the upstairs with my husband being like, can you believe this? I can't believe this. And I call my sister right after I'm done. And she's like, Jess's sister sent me the link. She's shocked. And she just thinks that this woman is trying to destroy Jess's life. And I backed you up and was like, well, Megan, she's done this in the past. You know that she's done this to Shayna, and she confirmed she knew that she had done it to me. I was just shocked. And then I think she had posted other videos at that point. I watched the first one and then I called her and I'm just like, what the fuck? She is still doing this. We were freaking out. I cannot believe that she is still doing this. And to this extent, it was so much worse than what I had to go through for just a couple of months. My sister told me there are more videos. And I was like, well, then I'm hanging up. And I just went down a rabbit hole and watched all of them and called her back. And I was just like, the similarities are so crazy. Her thought process and her games and manipulation is all still the same. And it's just all heightened to this expert level. It's wild. I was shaking. I couldn't believe it. And then I called my mother. She knew everything that I had went through. And I was just like, Mom, she is still doing this to other people. She knew that there was something up back in high school, but she was just as shocked as I was, especially like her knowing her father so intimately. It's just been so mind-blowing for our whole family. And of course, she was like, send me the links. And she watched them all too and was just shocked.
Did you feel like within a few days, your whole town knew?
Absolutely. It went around like wildfire. I mean, I don't necessarily talk to a lot of the people that I went to high school with, but the fact that it was being sent to Jess's sister, it was everywhere. I think that Jess has done a very good job at manipulating her family and downplaying her roles and actions. She's just very good at making excuses.
Here's Danny.
I felt like I was their voice because it was a situation that felt like it might have been embarrassing or something they might have not have want to come out about because it was their trauma and it was a sticky, bad situation that happened to them. So I felt like I could be a good voice for them in that situation. A lot of the responses on my TikTok, it's a lot of victim blaming. There's a lot of people coming with compassion. The internet is the internet. I'm used to it. Obviously, I've been online, but there have been like tons of judgment with the story. I mean, even if I tell one of my friends, it's people like, oh, well, why would they date someone online for that long? They never met them in person. They never talked to him on the phone. And as everybody listens to all the episodes, I think they'll understand the amount of manipulation and the amount of women she's done this to. Clearly, she's good at it. Like, clearly, she can keep someone in a relationship for an extended period of time. And just because somebody might be naive, it doesn't mean that somebody should take advantage of them. I think that makes that person a predator. I don't think that makes it right at all, just because somebody is looking through rose-colored glasses that you should take advantage of them. That's not right at all. It's like saying, like, if you got mugged at night, telling someone, well, you shouldn't walk in the middle of the night. Basically, every time the girls have went and talked to the DA, they basically just kind of shrug their shoulders. The girls have been looking through their text messages with Jess and with Brody, trying to find any sort of anything incriminating. A lot of them were looking through the pictures Jess sent. It feels like a real, true, crazy investigation because every single person she mentions is connected in some crazy, weird way, or some reason she says something that her catfish likes or does. For example, he likes motocross, but there was a popular guy in high school who likes motocross. There's connections to every single thing she does. Like the suicide stuff and ending up on a ventilator, we talked to one of her ex-boyfriends and he literally told me that happened to him maybe a year before he met Jess. She steals stories from every single person. So it's just been a lot of researching and looking through all their text messages and trying to see if they could find anything. I've been just getting random messages from people, and hopefully the podcast will help with that.
Okay, today is Friday, March 15th, 9:56 a.m. Central Time. I'm in Austin, Texas for South by Southwest, and I am going to make first attempt call to Jessica Polly to ask her what the fuck is her fucking problem. Just kidding, but basically. I feel a little bit nervous. I feel giddy. I feel just excited to ruin her weekend, honestly. Just very excited about that. So I'm going to try on my cell. I got all the survivors' consent. They're waiting in the group chat. I let them know I'm about to call. Lauren just sent, I can't wait to hear your customer service I don't hate you voice. I'm going to try my best, girl. Okay, here we go. It's ringing.
Hello?
Hi, I'm trying to reach Jessica Polly.
Who is this?
My name is Tiffany Reese. I'm a journalist working on a case, and her name came up in it.
What kind of case are you working on?
Who's this?
This is Jess, but I'm not going to answer questions unless I know what you're talking about.
Sure, I'll explain everything. I just want to make sure I have the right person before I disclose any information.
I don't want to be a part of anything. I've already gone to court over what you're going to talk about, so.
Oh, yeah, we're aware. So your comment is no comment then on all the allegations?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Bye-bye. Well, there we go. No comment. I wonder who the woman in the background was. This is Tiffany.
Hey, Tiffany, this is Jess. I just talked to you on the phone. I need to know how you got my number. I'm reporting these things.
Oh, it's publicly listed on the internet.
It's not, because my phone number is a brand new phone number.
Oh, is your privacy important to you?
It is.
It's important to all your victims, too.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have no proof that I did anything.
I have so much proof, it's insane, baby girl.
Okay. Who are you with? So I can report this to my attorney.
You can have your attorney call me on this number directly, and I'd love to speak with them, and if they want to offer any further comment, I'd love that, too. Let's do it.
We have no comment for you, but I'm just asking.
Okay, well, if you have no comment, then I'm not going to continue to speak to you and give you information. If you're not going to comment, then it goes both ways.
Okay, then don't call me again and leave
I
me
didn't.
alone.
You just called me. Goodbye.
Right.
Master's office.
Hi, I'm trying to reach Lonnie.
It's me.
Oh, hi, Lonnie. This is Tiffany Reese. I'm a journalist, and I am working on a case, and your name has come up on it. So I was wondering if I could reach out to you for comment.
What case? Who is it in regards to?
Jessica Polly.
Okay. I don't know if I can give any statements. I had to talk to the chief judge about that.
Okay. So basically, just to give you some insight to what I'm referring to, Jessica Polly, we've found countless victims of hers through our investigation. The podcast is coming out in a few weeks.
I heard with the catfishing stuff.
Yes. So it's not just catfishing. It's also stalking, harassment, sexual abuse, just to name a few. But the reason why your name came up is because the victims had mentioned communicating with you that you're like a friend of Jessica's or your kids are friends or something like that. And so that's why your name came up, even though obviously your name isn't on the paperwork. It was filed by a different magistrate. So anyways, I have screenshots
and that's
of your
why my
name
name
on
wasn't
them.
on there.
Yeah. And then there's also the claims that Jessica has made against you, which is, I can quote directly, February 25th, 2023, 9:20 p.m. Lonnie is a swinger, straight up showed me a nude and a video, and essentially is implying that you had an inappropriate relationship with her. And so obviously that would be like a conflict of interest given any involvement with the case. So that's really why I'm reaching out.
Yeah, well, we heard about it, and I talked to my judge, Judge Corporan, about that.
Yeah.
Just in general with the whole thing. Because, of course,
I mean, to be clear, she's a fucking liar. You know what I mean? Like,
I know. Why?
She's also lied about every fucking possible thing out there. So I'm just letting you know what's in the evidence that we are reviewing. Obviously, it has your name in it multiple times. So essentially, yeah, what I would be reaching out for comment on is like your relationship to her, your relationship to the case, and then I'll be reaching out to the DA, like why it hasn't been moved forward, why it's at a standstill. Unfortunately, we've traced 18 years of this behavior from Jessica Polly. She's been doing this since she's 13 years old.
Wow.
So she's not only stalking these women, recording them, controlling them, abusing them, she's also stalked 3 men, one for 15 years now, and she just moved to his city yesterday or the day before. Jessica is aware of the podcast. I reached out to her Monday of last week for comment, and like most guilty people, instead of saying,
I'm innocent. She said, you have no proof. And she's just like, okay, well, I already went to court over it and nothing happened. So, like, that's her stance. No remorse.
Well, can I call you right back?
Yep. This is my direct line. And again, my name is Tiffany Reese, and my podcast, where the documentary is airing, is called Something Was Wrong, if you want to, like, look at our website or fact check any of that.
Okay, because I probably could tell you, like, my side. Like, nothing going on with the case, like what I do for my job, but just what I know in general from us. But when I finish up these defendants, I can call right back.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
All right, you're welcome.
All right, bye-bye.
Hey there, True Crime Podcast fans. It's Patrick and Jillian from True Crime Obsessed.
Each week on TCO, we recap a true crime documentary everyone's talking about, and we do it with heart, sass, and just the right amount of humor.
So if you like the kind of podcast where two good friends chat about a case in a thoughtful way that centers the victims, you really got to check us out.
Yeah, we cover the well-known cases that you hear about in the news and the underreported cases that desperately need more attention.
For almost 9 years, we've been one of the most popular true crime podcasts out there.
We have over 30,000 five-star reviews on Apple Podcasts, and our brand new YouTube channel has over 50,000 subscribers watching our full-length video episodes too.
So find and subscribe True Crime Obsessed wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Tiffany.
Hey, Miss Tiffany, this is Lonnie calling back.
Oh, hey. Can you hear me okay?
Hey, I can hear you.
Okay, good.
I don't see how my name keep getting brought up with her.
Well, she brought your name into it, Jess did, to begin with, because she started telling the girls, you're coming over and you guys are doing whatever, and yada, yada. And then your name came up before even the court stuff with this Peeping Tom incident night. Lauren and Jess's son had an incident where somebody was like at their place, and so either like Jess called you or whatever.
Yeah, so that night she called me because, like I said, we didn't do nothing to have anything. So she met my wife. Her and Lauren been over to my house before. She had dinner with us. We went trick-or-treating with the kids, and for me, I had to tell my wife that. So it's kind of horrible because my wife was like, you know what? I know you're trying to be nice and everything, but this is not working.
Yeah, it's a no for me like kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I first met her, I coached soccer, so I was talking to him. He was really good at soccer, him and my son. So they was hanging out. So Lauren and Jess, they stayed together. So my son would go over there. Lauren and Jess took him, like my son, they took him to like the movies. When he come on my house, no problem at all. See, didn't think nothing of it. I mean, I'm well known in the community. I'm in this position. We do a lot for the community. I donate in the community. So they're probably like July 22, and then she called me. She was like, hey, I got something going on. And so I ain't talked to her for like 5 months or so. And
you're kidding, the Peeping Tom incident?
No. The Peeping Tom was before this.
Oh, okay.
That year.
Gotcha.
Peeping Tom was before this.
Got it.
Like with that, she called me because she was out of town, mysteriously out of town. And
mysteriously is right.
I'm a cop. So first, I'm like, hey, get one of my guys to come out there. And as I'm coming out there, one of my guys coming out there, one of my deputies, because I was off duty, I tell them, like, hey, these, friend of ours or whatever, they say they got someone coming there. And Lauren, she was shaking up.
Yeah.
She was like, Lonnie, can you please go there? Like, Lauren, like, really scared. And I called Lauren, and Lauren, she was like, I don't know what's going on, blah, blah, blah. Like, they keep knocking. So I went there with my pistol and everything, checked the whole house, and then, because they didn't want to go upstairs because she said she heard something upstairs. So I cleared the house and told her everything good up there. Then I stayed there until Lauren's mom came.
Jeez.
And Jess said she was out of town, and she was like, Lonnie, thank you for coming. And I said, hey, y'all are good friends. So this was before.
So then 5 months later, was it about the catfishing?
Yes.
Got it.
She said, she was like, hey, some girl trying to accuse her of doing this, and this. So I went over the house. Her and Lauren was there. Lauren was saying, yeah, this. And she's like, well, can she do that? I'm like, well, if it's not true, then she's like, well, no, it is true. I'm like, huh? She's like, well, she took my boyfriend and blah, 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 that she's there. I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, you just need to, just cut ties and, just leave it at that, but she never said how deep their sense went to or whatever.
Right,
She
right.
said, you know, this girl took her boyfriend, that's why she did it and everything. And so...
Again, drama.
Well, like I said, Lauren was there because, you know, she was sitting in the living room, so we talked about that. That was it. She hit me back up later when she was asking me about, like, the Salty Turtle or whatever. I'm like, wait, me and my friends, we go there. So we went there. Me and my friend was already there. You know, talked to her for a little bit. She did bring up something about, oh, why you always coming out? Your wife don't come out. Y'all must be swingers. So I'm like, no. I said, you know my wife. She just not no bar type person. And I don't drink. I just come out here and socialize with my friends and go home. And that was basically the extent of it.
She was trying to feel you out.
Yes. So this was February of last year.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't hear back from her until this stuff came open. And then she called me and she was like, hey, I probably got some type of, so how do I can tell if I got any type of restraining order against me? And I said, well, you know, you got to call the sheriff's office and all that stuff. She's like, okay. She's like, because Lauren, I'm like, Lauren? I said, y'all roommates. Like, what the heck? And she's like, yeah. So she was like, some stuff going on with catfishing. So I'm thinking the stuff from last year. I'm like, why Lauren is mad at her from catfishing that didn't have nothing to do with her.
Gotcha. You thought it was related to the first incident. Got it.
I'm thinking, yes. I'm like, why Lauren upset? So, and then I'm like, well, I said, yeah, call the sheriff. I'm like, because I don't work for them no more. She thought I still work for them. I said, I got a new position. I said, I don't work for them. She's like, okay. And then she called me back, and she was like, Lauren doing this, Lauren doing that. She's like, well, can I go take out paper too? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, but I said, that's not going to look right because she already got them on you. And I'm like, why is she mad at you for catfishing? Just like that you said was some other girl in Idaho, Iowa, whatever it is. And she was like, well, I was catfishing Lauren too. And I said, what? And she's like, she's supposed to go and do charges. I immediately said, if any charges involved, we don't talk to me no more about this. I said, because I'm the manager and we do charges up here. I'm like, so I don't want to know nothing about this. And I got a screenshot of my text message when I'm telling her that. And I also got a screenshot letting her know I still got it because I screenshot it on my phone because she asked if I could come over the house and talk to her about the case. And at this point, I already talked to Lauren, and Lauren telling me, oh, no, she said that you been coming over. So, well, one time I stopped in when she asked me about some stuff that was going on. So next thing you know, I see Bree at the court with some other girl. And Bree was like, oh, yeah, she come and find out she was catfishing me with the guy, Brody, blah, 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 this. So Bree was trying to get ex parte. So the judge denied it. She came over here to me, and I guess she feel that, I don't know why they think I got some type of loyalty to Jeff because I don't. But
well, I'm sure she made it. That's what she does, right? She twists a little bit of truth to meet whatever narrative she needs in that moment. Nothing is consistent. Yeah, it's just whatever. And
that's what, you know, I was trying to think, you know, like I was telling my wife, I'm like, I said, I got this new job. I said, I do not need my name brought up. So Bree came over here and tried to get charges. And I said, Bree, you can fill out the paperwork, but I'm not going to put my name on that because I don't want Jess to think I'm biased towards you or you think I'm biased towards it, like, period. I said, so my name not going on, because I know both of y'all. I said, so I'm going to get one of the other managers. So my other manager, I text her. I said, hey, can you do this? Because that's what we know to do. Family or friends or anybody you know, your name don't go in the paperwork. We just call someone else in or call the chief in, and he'll do it. I'm like, but your name don't go in there, so it don't be no type of situation. So,
right, okay.
I'm telling the judge, like, hey, blah, 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 this. And I'm like, no. I said, I literally try to get myself out of it so my name don't be on nothing at all. I said, but my name keep getting brought up. And I said, I don't even talk to Jess. I said, I don't even see how my name keep getting brought up. And that's, like, after she asked me about that, about coming over reviewing it, I'm like, no, Jess. I said, anything dealing with this, I said, we can't have no communication about this, period. And then that was the last time I heard from her. She unadded me on Snapchat because I was going to block her.
Yeah.
And then a month later, she added me back. After that, it went off again. Because I think you know how you get a notification and someone added you. She added me back, and then it disappeared. And that was the last time I talked to her. Or last time, and that was like probably back in August or so, maybe August, September.
Gotcha. And then she, as far as we can tell, she removed from school within a few weeks.
And my son, at that point, they haven't spun out over each other's house in like a long time. But, I mean, other than that, I mean, it wasn't nothing that's going on. So I told my wife what was said because we got a mutual friend.
I mean, it's a small town, right?
This lady who are good friends with me and my wife, she ended up telling me, she's like, yeah, because, you know, she's saying this, and this. And then I'm like, she keeps saying that. I'm like, and, you know, I got a whole wife, and I'm like, that get out. I said, that's not good. And I said, I'm not. So I'm got to tell my wife this. And my wife was like, Lonnie, you just was too nice to her. I told you, you're just too nice. Me trying to give her the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
And me trying to help her son, which me and my wife did plenty of time, and you can ask Lauren about that.
Yeah.
Plenty of time.
Yeah.
He stayed over there plenty of time. Hey, I'm about to go out of town. Can you? I don't have nobody. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I talked to Lauren. I called her on my own will, and I just told her, I said, look, Lauren, I said, I don't want you to think I got no type of commitment towards this. I said, only female I got commitment to that I would go to arms about is my wife and my daughter. I said, I don't want you to think anything. I said, because I know what she said to you, and I know I've been around. I said, but me and just don't have no relations. I told Lauren, I'm like, she's going to come here. Like, this is our town.
Right.
She got here.
Right.
And cause up all this problem. Like, that's not good.
She has no remorse.
We know everybody. We know, like I said, we're a closed town. And I said, once word get out that she like that, I said, she going to leave.
Yep, that's what she does. That's why she moves every 2 years. I mean, her background check has more addresses than anybody I've ever seen. It's insane.
Wow.
I mean, this is what she does. So you would classify the relationship as basically like your sons were friends. It sounds like that's the majority of your communication was about your children.
Yeah. Yeah, and everything we did was with the kids.
She clearly is just like, I can do whatever I want. She has no remorse. I mean, she creates people. She kills them off. She emotionally abuses these women. She stalks them in real life. She's not only an abusive fake boyfriend, she's an abusive friend, abusive roommate.
And that's what I was saying. Because Bree moved down here. Like I said, Bree's in Lauren too. Like, she moved down here. They all moved here for her. And when Lauren was telling me, and she's like, oh, no. She's like, I met her at a concert, I believe. And she said the guy was supposed to show up. The guy didn't show up. When Lauren was telling me everything, I'm like, so y'all in the same house?
Yes. Sometimes in the same bed.
Because they said that they had that 2-bedroom before they got the 3-bedroom.
Yep.
I'm like, so y'all in the same room. And I'm like, holy crap. I'm like, Lauren, I'm so sorry you got to go through this and all that stuff. I'm like, look, I mean, wrong is wrong, right is right. I said, I'm always a firm believer in that. I'm like, and they're just plain wrong. And I clarified to her, I'm like, I don't want you to think any of this going to get better, Jess. I'm like, because last text message I sent her, when she asked if I come on there, I said, nope. I said, I don't want to have nothing to be involved with it. And she's like, oh, okay. And that was, actually, I can tell you what day it was. Because my wife told me, she's like, well, make sure you save all the messages. I'm pulling up now.
No worries.
She's like, are you busy? I said, what's up? I said, she's like, I was wondering if you could come by. And this after they already told me what she said about me and everything. So then I said, I can't. I said, especially if it's in regard to this case. She's like, just had some questions. Thank you anyway. And that was it. And my wife like, just keep it short with her. She's like, you don't gotta call her out. You don't gotta question her. She's like, because obviously that's what she wants. So keep it short with her. Tell her don't contact you, and that's it. And block her number. That was it.
Smart.
So I blocked her. So I don't know if she ever tried to call me back because I blocked her number from calling me.
Gotcha. Okay.
And my wife blocked her from social media and all that good stuff too.
I appreciate so much of your time, and this was extremely helpful. It really helps the survivors. Hopefully we're going to get her. Yeah.
Well, I keep it posted on everything.
Yeah, I mean,
I did when it's going to air, or
yes. So the trailer should be coming out early April, so a few weeks here.
Okay.
Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Detective Cable.
Hi, Detective Cable. My name is Tiffany Reese. I'm a investigative journalist and documentarian, and I'm working on a case, and your name and phone number was given to me by a few of the victims involved.
Okay.
And I wanted to reach out to you and just see where the case was at and if there's been any movement since. I can give you more details, obviously, about what I'm talking about specifically, but...
Okay. Yeah, what's the case?
So it's Jessica Pauley. It was a cyber stalking. I think the charges that were ultimately brought against her by the DA at the hearing, the first hearing, was a year of cyber stalking. And I believe what happened was there was essentially a situation where it could either be a misdemeanor or they could hold out and potentially bring more charges against her. So that's what the victims decided to do at the hearing. But I just kind of wanted to touch base with y'all and also just update you on what we have found, because we have found many more victims, and unfortunately, based on the evidence that we have, Jessica Pauley has been doing this for 18 years.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that.
Yeah.
Obviously, we got the case just because the victim at the time lived here, and then we spoke to a friend, but I know that Jessica's been kind of all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
So have all of those victims that you reach out to go to their like local agencies to deal with those types of things. I don't believe it's a case that we prosecuted on, so.
I'm curious, do you guys have, and I know this is very like resource-based, but do y'all have any FBI contact or like a dual task force that potentially could work with me on a federal level, because that would give us obviously access to way more charges?
I don't have any personal contacts that I could give out.
Okay.
But,
okay. I was just curious because, like, I've worked with some police in states where they have like dual task force with cybercrime, able to like really open the doors for us in a different way, obviously because of the access to federal versus state charges. Because, you know, as I'm sure you're well aware, the stalking laws in this country don't necessarily lead to years and years behind bars, even when we get those convictions. So I'm curious if you can tell me, like, did you guys interview Jessica?
I would think the best case for you would probably be just to try to request those reports if that's what you want.
Okay. Now, I went on the website and it looks like there's like no phone number and no email. Is the best way really to just go in person to get those records?
Or if you just call the main number.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And then would it be helpful for me to send along what I've got?
Sure, if you want to, I could take a look at it. Like I said, I don't believe we sought any charges, so.
Okay. Yeah, I can definitely send you the criminal timeline and the evidence that we have organized digitally. Okay, great. Thank you so much. And if you have any follow-up questions or anything, please feel free to reach out to me. I'll include my number on the email as well.
All right, awesome. Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Hello?
Hi, is this the correct office for a FOIA request?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Hi, my name is Tiffany Reese, and I got this phone number from Detective Cable. She let me know that this would be the correct place to contact to find out more information on how I could submit a FOIA request.
Okay. Yeah, I can email you one if you're not in the area, and you can
Sure.
Put it out and send it back. Okay?
That would be fantastic. Thank you so much.
I'll send that to you, and then what I'll do is I have to get it approved by my captain, whatever I release, but it normally doesn't take long, and then I'll get it right back to you.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much. I appreciate your help.
Okay, what is a good number just in case I need to call you for any reason?
Yeah, feel free.
All right, I got it, and then I will send that FOIA request over to you right now.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hi, I believe this is Tiffany Reese. This is Jerry Hannett, the Assistant District Attorney. I got a message on this is pretty much my new office line. I just got transferred back down to New Hanover. I believe the number, you should have it. But yeah, if this is the right voicemail, go ahead and give me a call back whenever. Okay, thanks. Bye.
So I'm working on this investigation documentary. It was a cyberstalking case in August. The charges that were available were basically going to be a year off social media, or the survivors could kind of hold out and see if there was, more charges that could be brought. Lauren is one of the victims, and then Brianna is the other. They both mentioned that they spoke with you briefly before the hearing and then after the hearing, and that you were lovely to them, but essentially that your hands were tied, it sounds like, legally speaking. And so what I'm trying to do is figure out, one, if I can get you the information and evidence that I've collected, and two, if you have any connections with the FBI, because the evidence that we've surfaced is that Jessica Pauly's been doing this for 18 plus years. There's 20 to 30 victims already that have been located. And a lot of it is including victims from multiple states, multiple jurisdictions. But the internet is one of her main tools that she's using. So essentially, that's why I'm reaching out to you. One, if you have any comment about the case or where it's at or what your hopes are for it. Two, if I can send you what I've collected. And three, if you think there's any chance that we could get in contact with either like the dual task force or the FBI field office in North Carolina.
Yeah, I'm thinking, I remember this case, now that you're bringing it up, I think I know which one you're talking about. And I'd have to review to see kind of what happened towards the end. And then I remember they were trying to, did they ever end up hiring attorneys?
I'm not sure if they ended up hiring an attorney. I mean, basically, because as you know, the state laws when it comes to cyber stalking, what was presented to you and what we've now found, and even what the survivors have found over the months and the other evidence is a different picture. So I would love to get it to y'all if you would be open to that. The criminal timeline that we have is currently 25 pages long. And then we're cataloging, obviously, all the evidence. But essentially, like, what we've determined, the potential charges would be stalking, cyber stalking, sexual abuse, psychological damage, invasion of privacy, identity theft, non-consensual sex abuse material.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I think, is the case still pending? I can't even remember.
As far as I know, it's pending because it was essentially like Jessica and her mom showed up to the hearing. A couple of the survivors were there with you. The best they could do was like a year off social media, misdemeanor.
And like no contact.
Right. Because they both have their restraining orders with her. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so, but we found victims similar, but in other states. And also, this isn't just cyber stalking. It's really like in-person stalking, like significant years and years of her.
What happened with, I remember, I think because for felonies and all that, the investigation has to start most of the time with like the sheriff's office. What was the latest on that? Have you guys presented your new stuff or anything to the sheriff's office yet? Did they have any luck with that?
No, I think they're kind of waiting for me to take the charge at this point. I've been trying. I reached out to the FBI because that's who I've had the most success for with cyber crimes in my experience, is like a dual task force member that does cybercrime or an FBI agent, because obviously they have access to different laws, right? But I also understand that they only really prosecute like 20 of these cases a year on average, is what I'm told. So it's really a matter of like getting their attention. And I am trying to pursue the resources that I have. But obviously, the state law is very different than the federal law when it comes to this stuff.
I remember talking to them for a long time in our district courts. And I remember them, I can't remember if they had much luck with the sheriff's office on trying to get felonies charged and all that stuff. I remember trying to give them some attorneys to talk to, and then I think in district court we kind of just came up with this leave them alone thing. But, okay, I remember this all now.
Okay, so that would be your official advice to them, would be speak to the attorneys that you possibly sent,
No, I mean, I wouldn't, not officially now. I'm not
Okay, got it.
Now. I mean, back in the day.
Got it.
Really thought, yeah, like, no, I mean, obviously now, I mean, I would love, I got to talk to my boss if we want to do anything official or what they would officially do now with new information. No, I definitely would want to talk to some people about that because they have every right to try to contact the FBI or bring it back to the sheriff's office. Anything like that, bring it back to the Pender County District Attorney's office up there. There are definitely a lot of options on the table if you guys have found. So you believe you found like new evidence or just
yes, new victims, new evidence.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, we also have like her confession on tape. I have calls with her, all sorts of fun stuff for you, Jerry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I know your DA's out this week. I'm also technically out this week, but I wanted to connect with y'all because the trailer goes out on Thursday. But would love, like I said, to send y'all this stuff and see if there's anything we can do. What I'm trying to do is educate the public and validate the victims' experiences and get justice for all of her victims. Not only the female victims, but the men who she's been stalking and stealing their photos. And I mean, one of the male victims says that she has photos of him that he has no memory of giving anyone consent to or anyone even being with him when the photograph was taken. So we definitely have a lot of potential stalking charges here too. There's also some just really weird incidences that I'd love to have your thoughts on in terms of this peeping Tom incident that happened.
Okay, let me, what's your email?
I'll email Ben and just kind of give him the heads up and just see when he gets back kind of what his thoughts are. I mean, there's, really what you guys are trying to do, I guess, is reopen the start a new investigation or reopen an investigation. That there could be a lot of avenues for that. Of the Pender County Sheriff, our office up there in Pender, I'm not there anymore, but like they could look into that and meet with them. Survivors. What was their names again? Their first name.
So Lauren was the victim that was actually living with Jess Polly when she found out about that, and then Brianna was the other victim. And then there was Monica, who is from Iowa. A lot of the victims are in Iowa because that's where Jessica's from, and she's been doing this since she's 13 years old.
Yeah. And then how's it been going? Has she broken that no contact, or how's it been going?
As far as we know, however, there have been a few strange circumstances. Like, she definitely still has photos of them, like, up on her photography website and Instagram that she's posted since, which just seems odd to me. She's fled to Florida. Well, not fled, but she's moved again, as she does. She moves, she moves every year and a half or so to her new victim.
Yeah.
Jerry, if you can believe it, we have evidence to support that she was texting her newest victim from court with y'all, standing in court with y'all and her mom crying a river. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so she's done it since. We know that. So she's not going to stop until we make her stop.
Interesting.
Yeah.
She usually... What's her MO?
It's very sexual, very abusive. I'll send you the text. I mean, she creates fake people and terrorizes her victims by basically saying, if you do the wrong thing, I'm going to kill myself and it's going to be all your fault. And so she terrorizes. That's why anytime the victims try to cut off contact with her, she's killing people, fake people, or she's going to kill herself, or all this insanity. She uses her own kid to validate that these people are real. She inserts herself into these people's real lives and sleeps in bed with them and rubs their back while she's literally creating the chaos. It's so sadistic. And not to mention the impact that it's had on her male victims. I mean, the one that she's been stalking and, using his identity for 15 years now to abuse women.
Is he willing to come forward?
Oh, 100%. Yep. I mean, there's got to be enough to get a freaking warrant for her computer and her phones, right?
I think that's kind of once you kind of look into how hard it is to, get an investigation going, most of the first question they're going to ask is trying to figure out jurisdiction, who's happen at, and which agency is going to actually be the ones to investigate, and
all those, most investigation agencies have to start kind of from the ground up of where these things happened, and
yeah, it's tough with her being so all over the place.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. And it's such a nuanced type of abuse, right? And like the crime itself is so unique and the different elements to it that I feel like we really need somebody who understands cybercrime and stalking in order to make the case work,
Yeah. Well, let me. I'll email Ben and kind of just give him your email and tell him a little bit what's going on with the case and remind him of it.
Appreciate it so much. Have a great week.
All right. Good luck. Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
Next time on Something Was Wrong.
Thank you for calling the SBI. We're supposed to be meeting with him, compiling all of our evidence that we've gathered since then.
I really hope that anyone out there, that if they're going through this, don't be embarrassed. Respect yourself and have confidence. You deserve so much better than this. Get out of that situation.
Yeah, I don't believe that she has stopped or will stop until she gets what she deserves.
Well, now her biggest problem is the FBI, so Babygirl's got bigger problems than us now.
I didn't do anything wrong, but still, I was so nervous. I was like, it's the fucking FBI.
Enjoy that beach, bitch, because it's going away.
Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, stay safe, friends. Something Was Wrong is a Broken Cycle media production, created and hosted by me, Tiffany Reese. This season, our theme song, You Think You, by Glad Rags, is covered by Palehound. For music and tour dates, go to palehound.com. If you'd like to support the show further, you can share episodes with your loved ones, leave a positive review, or follow Something Was Wrong on Instagram at Something Was Wrong Podcast. As always, thank you so much for listening.
Telephone, now they're on. I hang up, but I know it's not their fault. They think they know me, they don't know me well at all.
True Crime Podcast fans, it's Patrick and Jillian from True Crime Obsessed.
Each week on TCO, we recap a true crime documentary everyone's talking about, and we do it with heart, sass, and just the right amount of humor.
So if you like the kind of podcast where two good friends chat about a case in a thoughtful way that centers the victims, you really got to check us out.
Yeah, we cover the well-known cases that you hear about in the news and the underreported cases that desperately need more attention.
For almost 9 years, we've been one of the most popular true crime podcasts out there.
We have over 30,000 five-star reviews on Apple Podcasts, and our brand new YouTube channel has over 50,000 subscribers watching our full-length video episodes too.
So find and subscribe True Crime Obsessed wherever you get your podcasts.